Hi guys, welcome to the first episode of Beyond the Feed magazine. Now, my name is Crystal Harvey and I'll be your host. You can find me at Just Chrissy on Instagram and all other platforms such as TikTok. I think that's all the platforms. And YouTube, of course, because you're here. So you can find me at Just Chrissy on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And let's get into it. So, what is Beyond the Feed magazine? Beyond the Feed magazine is what it says. It's basically getting back to old roots of, non-digital conversations. Beyond your Instagram feeds, beyond your curated feeds, beyond TikTok, beyond Instagram, everything, and actually just touching grass with friends, finding like-minded conversations that can actually, that can increase intellectual ability. Because that's literally how I came about with the idea of starting this podcast. Because I feel like the dolly that get done. The dolly was not having stimulating conversations, right? And that was becoming a problem. The only thing that we discussed were things that was on the internet, and then we were using internet lingo and just vocal stims and everything to have these conversations. In my early 20s, what was happening? I did not feel like I was articulating myself as I used to at a certain point in life. I used to enjoy debates with my siblings, and I used to enjoy debates and conversations with older people. I like to speak with older people. But then I realized, even after traveling and everything, all we would talk about were things online. All we would talk about were, we would start to use the lingo and everything of that's on the line, period, da-da. I mean, it's fun, yes, it's a part of, developing societal norms and, linguistic norms and stuff like that. However, there needed to be a balance. There needed to be a balance with the newfound space that I found in Tbilisi. There was a dire need for me to have stimulating, educational, or just deeper conversations, right? That's one of the main reasons. So that's one of the things that inspired me starting this whole podcast, because we can't have no done style around here. We cannot have no non-eloquent ladies around here. We need to be having serious conversations. As Gen Z people, we should be having serious conversations, because now is the time where we need to vote. Yeah, that's a thing. We're at that age now. Yeah, we are in a position to cast votes, play major parts of society. It's our time, Gen Z. Am I Gen Z? Yeah, it's our time, literally. We actually need to lock in as a young people. As young people, we need to lock in, and we need to be up to date with what's happening. We need to have serious conversations and learn to develop listening abilities, reasoning abilities, and the ability to understand that not everybody's reality is the same. And with everybody's reality, there should be solutions to their reality and improvements and upgrades or whatever it is, right? We're creating the space to become resilient people, right? Anyway, so that's just what I'd like for this space to be. And also just the fact that we are becoming the next generation that's going to be taking the reins from the older generation, or taking the wheels from the older generation and steering the younger ones into a, brighter future. Because guys, being a big sister is scary. Being a big sister is scary. My little sister, she just turned 13 the other day. What is she doing on TikTok? Get off. Guys, I tell you, that is just another experience that I'll have to get into another day, or maybe in my vlogs or so on. So check out the channel. Moving on to me. Yes, I'm a very strong-willed woman. I have a lot of opinions, and I'm very respectful of other people's opinions as well. So I love to pick the brains of people, and I love to see the other perspectives to this world, because a lot of times people like to look at the world in black and white, and it's really not black and white at all. My 20s definitely taught me that. My early 20s, I should say, has been teaching me that. However, at the same time, you have to find that balance between who you are and what you believe, and understanding that other realities do exist out there. So that's the level of understanding and humility and cohesiveness of understanding the world, or just, putting things together and really and truly hearing the voices of different people and their experiences, and not thinking that, oh, there's only one answer to every solution and everything like that. I'm very strong-willed, and I have a lot of opinions and strong opinions, and I believe they're great opinions. Not saying I'm always right now. I just believe I have some great points. Okay? So, yeah. Okay, so there are two aspects to it. I was not surrounded by a lot of people who were like-minded in terms of wanting to do content creation, that saw social media as a space for them. That didn't affect me actually putting out the content. That was actually just me needing to lock in and not really being able to lock in. Med school was med schooling. A lot was happening, but we have the time now. Secondly, moving to Tbilisi now, I was inspired because there were persons who were actually on their content game, doing their stuff. So I saw how dedicated and the time that they actually put into it, because I did edit. Of course, I have 2 vlogs out, and I have a video about studying in Georgia. So I was not like I did not put in the effort at one point. However, med school is med schooling. We're in clinicals now. We have more time to ourselves, and we're getting our shit together. So yes, thank God for getting us to 4th year so that we can build this community and build this little family. Okay, so big up God for that. Big up Jah. It took some time, clearly, because it's been a year, but I had to do with what is available to me, right? And as I said, we didn't have the time. That's also just one of the realness and the real struggles of being a medical student. You don't have much time to tap into the other things that you're interested in, and sacrifices just have to be made for the greater good of your life. So that's just that. Just touching on the fact that the coming episodes that we'll be having were done last year. It is very fulfilling, and it's like a full circle moment to actually see some of the concerns and topics that we spoke about last year change and what actually came into being the following year. Not only that, we while editing, I'm like, okay, the changes that I've seen in myself and my mindset and how I go about certain things, or how I think about certain things now, has changed. And it's a beautiful moment to know that, okay, you were not saying that you were wrong, but I hear you. I hear younger me. I hear you and I see you. And I'm glad that I'm also in the position to hear and see her, and hear and see other things and people, perspectives, and so on. So that's just a testament to the maturity and growth that has happened over the time. And I'm not mad that the first episode of this podcast is actually a year later. So a lot has happened, a lot has changed, and I can't give you all the details as to what has happened and what has changed, and even the conversations of updating the conversations that we had last year. However, I'm just going to tell you to enjoy the episodes that are coming, right? I want you to enjoy them. I want you to engage in them. And I want us to actually talk about these things. And if you've experienced anything like what they've experienced, or just comment on what we have been through or what we're discussing, right? You're part of the chat. Let's talk about the guests that you'll be seeing on this podcast. The guests are persons who are creative. They found a space and they've made a space of their own on different platforms, making moves, or even if it's just being a very intriguing people, interesting people, where we can hear their thoughts and, just learn a bit more about everybody around us. Different ideas and different perspectives. They all have a niche. I believe they're interesting and special in some way, which is why they're on the podcast. It's not just for fun, even though we like to have fun over here. I feel like the overwhelming niche is fashion, and because that was the most expressive form of content, I guess, that people got into over here in Tbilisi. That's one. And it's the first, I feel like it's the first form of expression that people see fashion. So that's one thing that we'll be tapping into, and we spoke a lot about those things. And you can definitely take note of the change in the things that we noticed or we addressed back then, and then the change that happened now. At the end of you guys seeing all of the podcasts, I will do a review of the changes and stuff, but I'm just telling you, I'm preparing you for a change in ideas of things that probably were discussed then. This podcast is really just to get to know me, get to know my guests as well, of course. It's a space to create memorable moments and give persons who are very talented, I believe, are chosen, very special, and they have a lot to contribute to society and the world. A lot of times they just aren't given the space to shine, and even if it's just a moment for other people to appreciate them, that's where they should be, in this moment for them to shine. And that's why I'm doing this podcast as well. That's a next reason. Okay, firstly, let's just start with an introduction of me. Hi guys, my name is Crystal Harvey. I am currently a fourth year medical student studying in Tbilisi, Georgia. I am in my 20s. I'm in my 20s, and guys, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Why are females like scared to talk about their age? Anyway, no, let's not talk about it. Let's not be real. So I commute very often back and forth to Jamaica and Georgia. If you guys don't know where Georgia is in Europe. Well, Eurasia. So it's all the way on the eastern side of the world. Okay? But they're far bad. And then Dali kind of sad of how far she is, but we're far bad. Right? Anyway, things that I like a lot of things. I like to do a lot of things. Well, of course, everybody likes a lot of things. But let me tell you what I like. I like to do active stuff. I like to create stuff. I like anything creative. That's me. I'm your girl. I'm very talented with my hands. I believe I'm an artistic person. Not autistic, guys. Artistic. I said that to somebody the other day and they thought I said artistic. Anyway, I love to try new things. I love to build things. Small, big, cutesy, manly. I like to build things. I grew up doing construction work, right? So that's another lore that we can get into and tap into. So if you get to know me on other platforms as well, you can see where I do different projects of different things. The kind of content that I put out is just lifestyle, beauty, because I love me some makeup. Look at that, period. Hair, fitness, wellness. I can't be in med school and not be about wellness and fitness. Like, that would be very contradicting. Fashion as well, crafts, it's everything, okay? So just join me. Like, just hold my hand. Let's go. Like, yeah. I'm 20 with a lot of dreams, and I'm in my 20s with a lot of dreams and aspirations, and just living life and experiencing life and just doing things. Don't do things for the plot, guys. Don't do it. But I play with them. I don't care, living life on the one. But if you're thinking about doing something for the plot right now, this is your sign not to do it. That's what I say. That's all I'm saying. Do what you want to do. There's no shame in experiencing life. You only have one to live, and it's yours. It's only yours. And at the end of the day, you're gonna die alone. Everybody's going in that coffin by themselves. But just live one that you're happy about. That you are, don't beat yourself up about things that you couldn't change or whatever, I feel like I'm just gonna start rant and get inspirational and whatever. This was supposed to be a short intro. So again, follow me on all socials, alright? Just to keep up with the girl. Just keep up with Just Chrissy. Yeah? Alright. Other than that, I'm a lover of life, guys. I'm a lover of life. I don't fear a lot of things. And once I put my mind to something, I want to get it done, and I probably will get it done if I have the proper resources. I believe I'm a catalyst type of person, so the environment has to be a certain way in order for me to excel in a certain space. But we're trying to change that. We're trying to push down all the boundaries of being a catalyst. Being a catalyst is my comfort zone. So even starting this podcast is me trying to break out of the mindset that I'm a catalyst, that the environment has to be right and everything in order for me to start something or to do something or to excel at something. That's also another reason why I decided to start this podcast. So you're gonna watch me grow, you're gonna watch me excel, and we're gonna hold hands going through it together, besties. So yeah, my comfort zone is being a catalyst. Definitely if you put me in a space, I will excel, because really and truly there's not much that I cannot do. I'm a problem solver. When I'm in certain spaces and there are problems that needs to be solved, I'm on it and I'm gonna do it to perfection, because I'm also a perfectionist. That's just one thing. I love to have fun. As I said, I really don't fear a lot of things. I just do things. I believe that people should take up space in the world, and I'm taking up space when I feel to do so. When I don't feel to do so, it's only one of me on this earth. Okay? Only one of me on this earth. So I'm just a girl trying to find new things to stimulate my mind, trying to grow in whatever areas I can, just doing new things, seeing how I feel about it. And I think that's what your 20s is about. So this podcast will really be reflecting what being in your 20s is really about. Early 20s, I should say. That is it, guys. I'm just a girl, and I felt like doing a podcast with some very good reasons. Let's chat it up like we're friends, because we're besties now. You're here, and we're besties now. And we love each other. Like, I love you, you love me. Let's make a happy family. Anyway, so I will have a habit of babbling on and just going and talk about one bag of things. So I have my look at notes. So if you see me, I look at my notes. Don't shoot me and I don't get edgy in the comments, please. I mean, I'd love for you to get edgy on me in the comments, interact with me. I want to hear from you. I want to hear what topics you want to talk about. I want to know what you want to know about me. And let's build a community. All right, let's build a loving, supportive community, because being in your 20s is all about growth. And of course, if there are persons who are over their 30s or even later 20s or 40s, 50s, guide us. We need it. Guide me. Me not too proud. I'm not too proud to take guidance, okay? Right? This world is a dark place. And there's so many things that you can learn from people, especially older people, right? So give your constructive criticism with grace and understanding, please, because it's a safe space for everybody, right? So more about me as a person, guys. I run on vibes. My life is fueled by vibes, but it's intentional vibes. It's vibes that has substance. It's vibes that mean something. It's vibes that create something and build something, whether it's people, whether it's myself, whether it's an experience, whether it's art, right? So that's just me. I believe, especially growing up, I was very strong-willed. I believe I'm strong-willed now. However, going through your 20s will teach you a lot of shit. Guys, I'm not gonna lie. This is supposed to be an unfiltered, safe space. May I talk to my friend them right now? Right? May I talk to my different friend them right now? Right? Let me not call it that. You guys are not different friends. I'm talking to my clean foot friend them right now. Right? So that's the next thing. I'm a very goofy person. I'm very unserious. Very. I don't believe life should be too serious, but it should be serious enough to the point where it's efficient to be happy. We're not trying to be miserable. I can't bother with the miserableness. I'd rather take away myself and be by myself, fix my mood, and then come back out to the world and socialize. Yeah. Speaking of which, I might just be an omnivore or whatever they call those people, because I'm very social. I believe I'm very social. I believe I'm more extroverted dominant than introverted, but I need my time. I need my time for myself. I love to have fun. I love to go out and have fun. I'm young. You know, life is meant for experiencing, especially when your body is young and able. Because right now, my body, I go like say, no, I'm able no more. I was playing tennis the other day. I'm going to feel my shin crack up on me. And I was like, what the hell? That's such a random place to be acting up. My shin? Guys, I thought... Babbling. Just know that at the prime age of 23, what? Nobody never tell me this. Hello? Everybody I talk about 30s and early 30s. Nobody spoke about the seizure of your body parts in the early 20s. Huh? And I believe I lead a healthy life. Guys, I believe I lead a healthy life. I believe I lead an active life. And I was not active consistently for a few months. And my body seized up like that. Okay, like... older persons, please come and attest to this and let me know if this is what you experienced in your early 30s, because early 20s, because I don't understand. I don't understand. Guys, I love Jesus. Okay, I love Jesus bad. Me and Jesus like this. Okay, we have our moments, we do. But that is why we are like this, because we're constantly with each other. We're constantly in tune with each other. So that's a big part of me. That's a big part of my heart, my mind. Definitely my mind is Jesus. A lot of it. But of course, you know, my own understanding is mine, and my relationship is mine. So, but it's a very active relationship where I'm actively responding to what I believe he's showing me or teaching me in life, and I'm actively testing the boundaries as well as to whatever he says or commands. Alright guys, we're just gonna use this because I'm gonna crash out. Yeah, my phone decided that she is overheating and I'm just gonna use my MacBook. Alright, so I apologize for the different quality or whatever it is, but before it could go up. I was talking about my relationship with God. It's very, very, very strong in my life. He called me, and ever since that, I was never leaving. He was never leaving. I was never leaving. Despite, you know, my own personal stuff. But those personal stuff was never a moment of turning away or like, you know, questioning. It's just, I treat it like I treat our relationship. I treat Jesus. I treat God like an actual relationship, and it's the closest relationship to my heart, closer than my mom, and I love my mom. Not gonna lie, there was a point where I was like, I don't feel like I'm into the podcast space anymore. I didn't know how I was gonna feel about it because I was probably already perceiving, like I was probably already judging how it would be perceived, and I was putting expectations on it and everything, and then I realized that, Crystal, stop. That's what you do all the time, and that is why there's always a delay. You have this perfectionist mindset and you cannot control everything in life, right? So that's why I had to tell my girl, shut up, you're gonna do it. You're gonna do it regardless. So this is it, guys, and I'm happy to be sticking through it. I'm happy to be sticking through it. I really am. So we're just gonna talk about light and deep topics. Like we can be goofing around, and then we just go to talking about something serious or whatever it is. But stick along, guys. You know, when you're cleaning, you can just turn on Beyond the Feed magazine. You know, put on your phone, alright, and listen to us talk about things that are probably on the phone too. But fact of the matter is, we're putting the phones down and we're talking face to face. We're talking face to face with real people, not bots. So yeah, and of course you guys can just get to know me as a person. I want to know you guys as well. I want to know who I'm talking to, like, you know, I want to know who I'm sharing the space with, who I'm inviting in my space. So don't be a stranger. Let's hear your opinions. Let's hear your thoughts. Again, let me know what topics you want to discuss, what topics you want us to start, and you can join, right? So just comment them down in the comment section. Alright, guys, and I will be looking out for them. I might take some time to respond, but I will be looking out for them. Alright, dears? Yeah. You can follow me again at Just Chrissy on all socials. Be sure to follow our guests when they come on the show. And we are going to stay connected. Let's stay connected. Let's stay enthusiastic to learn new things. Let's stay enthusiastic to face another day. Let's just, let's vibe. Let's chill. Let's have fun. Right? We're young. Right? We're young. The young host thing is in season now, but but yeah, we're young and we're trying to make sense of our youth. Alright, so join the club and tune into the following episode with our new guests. And I hope you guys enjoyed the conversations as much as I did. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate your time and your company. Appreciate you, bruh. That is it for this episode. I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you again. Alright? I love to document my life. And I love to share it with you guys. So, I hope you enjoyed.